Okay, hello everybody, Andrea here. I appreciate you for dropping in. I am going to show you some things as far as what I'm doing as for planning for this week. Sorry it's a little bit late. I am learning how to do a plan with me video. So the first thing I want to show you is how I utilize my stickers, which I'll be showing you how I have these stickers and where I got them from. You can look in the description below, but I have a lot of different stickers that I utilize when I am planning. I don't consider myself a sticker planner kind of person, but I do like to have my pages look nice and pretty as I work through them. Then, when I work through the week, as far as I have the week layout, and then I move on to another section where I keep a note, bullet journaling, inside of my Franklin Planner. So this is my Franklin Planner. And at this particular point, I'm not going to go through everything that's in here. We're just going to go over how I actually plan, what I'm going to do, and then how I pull that information from my monthly calendar and put it onto my weekly calendar at this point. As far as how I move this information forward, I always like to go back and look at the previous week, move things forward from the month, and that would be my monthly. As far as you could look at that, that would be my monthly full task list. I mean, everything I would like to get done for the entire month. So I break those down into weeks once I get ready to plan my weeks. So my main goal when I plan is to plan um, from the year, the quarter, then the month, then by the week, and then down to the day. It's a really easy system. I did it even when I was using the bullet journal, except it was hard to plan forward planning when I was in the bullet journal. So for now, let me just show you what I did. Now, as far as when I plan forward, I go back to the month, I check the last week, and then I move it forward to the current week. Now, the current week always has an extra page. At the end of the last week, there's always an extra page. So I'll show you like over here in this month here. So if this is week 224 to 2 to 3 1, at the end of that week, then you have a blank page. That's for the weekly notes. This is where I began all of my weekly notes. So I would start with the date and then do it bullet journal style. And then whatever I do, I write that on here from my weekly. So now, when I go from the month, I go to the current week. So the first thing I do, if I want to show you this, is I'm going to step you through my process of how I literally go back and plan. My first thing to do is to lay out what roles I play for in my life. So I do my personal, my errands, my patrons, which are my sewing patrons, my YouTube for my sewing video on YouTube, my administrative sewing and blog. And I have these all color coded. So these colors get put at the bottom here to tell me when I have a post to make on any social media content. In my in my monthly, I do the overall as far as when each post is going to go out, when I'm going to work with my patrons, when I'm going to do Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, or anything that has to do with my sewing. And I will put these down in the link below to help you to see how to get hold of these. But these are the stickers that I use as far as determining which one they're going to be used for. So I have my patrons, my Facebook, my YouTube, my blog posts, this is Instagram, my financial, which gets used up quite a bit, my personal, which needs to be used a little bit more, my Soul to Fit business administration, or anything that has to do with Soul to Fit, and because that is my main business there. And then, of course, I'm trying to decide whether I want to use this. This is the color of Twitter, But every time I post to Instagram, it automatically goes to Twitter, and then I have some other things in place that make sure that that is taken care of. So I'm trying to decide whether to use that. Now, the first thing I do is I look at my calendar for my personal things and I fill in those personal items right away. That's by going to my main calendar, which is here. If, Before I do that, however, I look on my phone and I look at my calendar and I see what it is I'm missing or what it is I need to take care of. So, for instance, I have Google and I have my Siri, right? So no matter where I'm at, I may discover that I need to put an appointment into my Siri. And whatever I'm doing, if something comes up and circumvent another appointment, I will put that appointment in by just saying, Siri, add this appointment to my calendar. So once I get that done, then later on, I will come in and I will include that in my calendar as an item that needs to be documented. So, say for instance, this here is a fitting appointment with one of my students or one of my uh, people that I work with. So that would be a yellow dot most likely here so that I can just glance at it and know that it has to do with a student, right? So beforehand and after, I need to prep for that. It usually takes about an hour for a fitting. But beforehand, I need to make sure I prep for the appointment and clear my room, set it up, make sure everything is ready for the person that's coming in. So then I also always prepare myself before an appointment that has to do with sewing. I always prepare myself. I like these little stickers that I got. I don't know where I got them from, but I do plan on getting some more because I love them so much. Or I may make some little square stickers that'll fit in here so they'll prepare me beforehand. If I have a meeting, then this will show me what the meeting is, and then I will already have it, or I'll write in what it is or who I'm talking to or what that person is. In this particular case, I had a meeting and it was a little bit more private because it was a conference. So I just covered that up. So it made it easier for you guys not to worry about, for me not to try to cover everything up. Then when I have to do administrative tasks or any kind of, well, I have my purple here, which is my personal. Then I have my planning YouTube videos and so to fit, planning that information on what I'm going to do. So I go through, I don't like the way the Franklin top is. I want to see those calendars a little bit better, which is why on this last week I actually went in and I had some stickers that showed the date. And there are times as far as like the color and everything, because for some reason I like to have this colored in at the end of the week. So I will come in later on and fill it in. I block things off. I do a lot of time blocking. So I block things off and then I'll come back later on and I might color it in with the highlighter or color it in with a pencil, a colored pencil, or anything like that. Sometimes I may even use a click pen to make sure that the wording is done the way I need. Now, when I get ready to write notes, I have today tab to let me know that this is where the notes are going to happen. So I go to that section, and this is exactly how I bullet journal in a bullet journal. This is exactly how Franklin Covey actually tells you to do it. However, I put dots here that need to be done. I don't use the ABC because I pretty much already know how important it is before I move forward. But I do put arrows to send it forward for forward planning, unlike the bullet journal who tells you to send it back. I don't do that. Then also, I like to make sure that whatever it is, like here, I'm doing planning for whatever I'm working on as far as my planning that I had down here, planning video online, what I'm going to be sewing for the next month as far as my, and here we go, as far as my live sewing streams, live streams on my YouTube channel this are the stickers I made for that. So now I'm planning that sewing, what I'm going to sew, and also I'm going to use that with my patrons and what patterns I'm going to work for with them. I put these in numbers here to let me know what it is that I'm doing, so that when I forward plan something to follow up, all I have to do is write the date, like 114 number 3, 114 number 1. Here I would say 113 number 2. So up here, if I forward planned something like this one here, I need to follow up later on, then I would do 114 number 1. So I would go all the way forward to that area, and then I would write, let's see, okay, I would go to this one here. And usually I would have a sticky note for the next week, and then I would write 114 here, follow up, number 1. I got 114, number 1, because I did a wish order. So I'm going to follow up, and I know that I did that on 114. So it'll take me back to 114, which is on to this day. It'll take me back to 114, number 1. And that number 1 will give me all the details of that order and tell me what needs to be done or what needs to be followed up with. So that's why I have the word follow up here, or FU, F/U, so that I'll go back and check that. Then I know this is already done. Now, as far as something that has to be checked in the month, I don't know when it is. I might just go, I put a sticky note on every one of those months, because some of these months do not have the actual weeks behind them. So I'll just write something in here. I might write just a dot, and then I'll have it here so that I can put it on the week when I get there. Okay, that's kind of like the having the getting things done, the GTD folders. You're putting things forward and you putting it into each month, and then when you get to that month, you put it on the correct day, depending on what is due. So now I go back to my month, which I use for this tab here. This tab is what keeps my month, and then this tab keeps me going back to as far as my overall weekly to do. Now, like I said, I do break those down. So when something gets done here, like if something gets done, I go back here because I circle it and I tell myself that I have scheduled it. So the reason it's circled is because I have already scheduled it. So now I have choose patterns to sew here, and I have not yet finalized choosing the patterns to sew, which means it is still kind of outstanding. So since it's still kind of outstanding, I don't come back here and check that off until the end of the week. I start going, maybe on Thursday, I'll start going down this list because I work Monday through, mine is Monday through Sunday. Okay, that's why I like these weekly, because they start Monday through Sunday, and then Sunday and everything is over here. So now at the bottom, I'll give you more explanation as far as how I do my content planning at the bottom here, but this is where I actually put that information using the dot system for that. That's really it. Home management, as far as these extra stickers are concerned, the blue stickers are for home, or for Facebook here. So I may use these light stickers for home management because I've always used home, and then back here I use blue for home management right there. So actually that's about the same color. So I guess I could start using. So now this is going to be home management there. So we just made that decision, didn't we? So now I like to write this on here, so because every once in a while they don't have the stickers. So this would be home management. Okay. And that is going to work for me. So now that's taken care of. And home management includes a lot, because there's a lot of stuff that has to be done to manage a home. And I always have to tell everybody in the house what needs to be done, what needs to be maintained. And I'll just show you that down the road. You'll learn more about that later. Okay, so basically, as far as appointments are concerned, I use the drive time. I have little slash marks to tell me my drive time before and after the appointment. And then I also put if it's a personal appointment or if it's a business appointment so that I will know by just glancing at it what it is. The next video is coming up on this day. The next the next patron only live stream is coming up on this day. So that is how I can just glance at it and know what's coming up. But basically, whew, that's pretty much how I do it right now. And I'll go through this a little bit more later, but my planner has everything in it and I don't like showing too much on here. So I just wanted to give you guys an overall view of how I do it. It seems like a lot, but because everything is in one place, I do not have to worry about losing anything. And especially when I can forward plan things all the way out and put down any kind of information that I'm going to need. See, this has something to do with emailing on that, and then this has something to do with money. Okay. So that's pretty much why you see these dots here. So, yes, home management was that color blue. So I guess I'm pretty good then. That's what it's going to be. All right, so that's it. I appreciate you guys for checking in with me again and taking a look at how I plan my week. And I will show you more later on as I learn how to do these kind of planning videos, which I love to do and I've been wanting to do for a long, long, long time. And hopefully you guys will appreciate it and we'll see where we go from there. Okay. Y'all have a good evening. Thank you. Bye.